heaven's headlines, Bible stories when frogs took over a nation. Exodus 8:1-15. The Nile River had finally returned to normal. Days earlier, its waters had turned red, undrinkable, lifeless, terrifying. Fish died. The smell filled the air. Egypt had never seen anything like it. And when it ended, Pharaoh thought the worst was over. But he was wrong. Because this story begins after the river ran red. When Pharaoh had already changed his mind about letting the Israelites go, Pharaoh had promised to listen. He had said he would consider letting the Israelites go. But once the river cleared, once the pressure eased, Pharaoh went back to business as usual. The slaves stayed. The work continued. And Pharaoh convinced himself that maybe this God wasn't so powerful after all. Moses had come exactly as the Most High God said he would. He warned Pharaoh, he lifted his staff, and Egypt paid the price. The river turning red was more than a disaster. It was a message, a warning that the Most High God of Israel was serious. That's when the Most High God sent Moses back again, not with a new message. The same one. Let my people go. Pharaoh refused, and that's when the Most High God chose something no one expected. The Most High told Moses to stretch his staff over the waters of Egypt again. And suddenly the river moved. Not with blood this time, but with life. Frogs poured out. They came in waves. They leapt out in streams. They flooded the streets. At first, it may have seemed almost comical. Until they didn't stop. Frogs invaded homes, they hopped into kitchens, they filled beds and bedrooms. You couldn't sit, you couldn't sleep, you couldn't eat. Everywhere you stepped. Frogs. What made it worse was this. Frogs were sacred in Egypt. They were tied to fertility, life, and protection. Some even represented Egyptian gods. But now those symbols of blessing had become a curse. The very things Egypt trusted had turned against them. Pharaoh's magicians tried to copy it. They made more frogs. But they couldn't remove a single one. Soon Pharaoh had enough. He called for Moses and said,
"Pray to your God. Make the frogs go away, and I will let the people go."
Finally, submission, or so it seemed. Moses asked him a strange question.
When should I pray for the frogs to be removed?
Pharaoh didn't say now. He didn't say immediately. He said,
"Tomorrow."
Even surrounded by chaos, Pharaoh delayed. Moses prayed. And just as promised, the next day the frogs died. They were piled into heaps. The land smelled terrible. Egypt was quiet again. Relief had come, but relief didn't bring repentance. As soon as Pharaoh saw the problem was gone, as soon as life felt normal, he changed his mind. Again, the Israelites stayed enslaved. The promise was broken. And Pharaoh's heart hardened even more. The frogs had left. But the lesson had not been learned. This story isn't really about frogs. It's about what happens when warnings are ignored and obedience is delayed. Pharaoh wanted comfort without surrender. He wanted relief without change. He wanted the Most High's power, but not the Most High God's authority. And how often do we do the same? We ask the Most High to fix things, but hold on to control. We promise change, but push it to tomorrow. We wait for things to get better instead of getting better ourselves. The frog showed Egypt something powerful. When the Most High speaks, delay has consequences. Because every time Pharaoh ignored a warning, the next one was worse. And sometimes the things invading our peace are meant to wake us up. The river turning red was a warning. The frogs were confirmation. The Most High God had spoken, Pharaoh had heard. But hearing isn't the same as listening. So the question isn't what Pharaoh did, it's this. What warning are we ignoring? What change are we postponing? And what are we asking the Most High God to remove while refusing to let go? Because sometime the frogs only leave when hearts finally change. What if the first enemy didn't attack, but asked a question? No fire, no thunder, just a voice in the garden, one conversation, one choice, and everything changed. This is the story of the first conversation with the devil, and how deception didn't start with rebellion. It started with doubt. Up next, the first conversation with the devil, Genesis 3:1-24. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you like these kinds of stories, leave a message. Let's talk about them.